Welcome. You're listening to the Rutten River Pursuits podcast. Join our epic pro staff around the Sonic Campfire for stories and adventures from our eastern mountains to the Chesapeake Salt. Let our highs and lows inspire you to take to the outdoors. Hey guys, you're listening to the Rutten River Pursuits podcast. I'm Will.
It's Uncle Buck here.
It's Ryan.
It's Kyle.
I'm Steve.
How is everyone tonight?
I'm late.
Well, you weren't that late.
Yeah.
It's barely late. But why would you be late?
But you came bearing gifts.
That's right. I was late because I was picking up the sustenance that my son was able to put into the family freezer.
Nice.
I had a little trouble doing that myself this year, but the boy did good. I had to pick up the wild boar he put down. Was that only about 3 weeks ago, I guess?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Yeah, they did a good job. So I figure I'd bring along a little bit of smoked sausage for everybody tonight.
Thanks, bud.
The gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. Yeah.
Love it. So, anything new?
I'm having a baby boy.
What? Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, we revealed the big old gender last weekend. So, yep. Gonna be a boy. So, pretty excited about that. Long time, forever hunting partner.
You gonna name him after Will?
Probably. Well, I'm just gonna take everybody's first initial, make some weird name from R2.
Ours Newt Stinks. I don't even know. I have no clue.
I was going to say, you did that pretty quick. That's impressive.
I
Yeah,
have no clue.
I'm gonna keep you around for.
Actually, I listened to Uncle Catfish talking Russian to Carrie Zilka, so whatever. I think it means something about a bear in a helicopter.
I will come hunt a bear in Russia with you from a helicopter with a sturgeon or something like that.
So, chucking buggers for sure.
Chucking buggers.
Definitely a big congratulations there. I mean, you're gonna love it. I mean, you're gonna love it eventually at some point.
I guarantee.
Maybe once you catch up on your sleep, and
I mean, maybe things will be completely different for you. I know for me personally, I love my kids. I got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. Poor guy stuck in the middle. I've loved everyone since the moment I saw them, but I didn't even like them until they were about 3 or 4 years old. So, I mean, there's that.
yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a good time.
Yeah, be a good adventure for sure.
I say a lot of that in jest.
Enjoy every stage because, especially at the beginning, it goes real quick.
Yeah.
And you don't ever get that back. And even if you have more than one kid, everyone is a different individual. Enjoy it.
Looking forward to it.
Anybody else got anything new? Stevie?
I had a good time talking with Aaron Ohl last week.
Yeah.
It was funny because there were a few times this week that I was reminded of Mr. Aaron Ohl. We were, what was I doing? I was listening to another fishing podcast, and the guy was talking about using chatterbaits with a, what was he talking about? Using chatterbaits with a, caffeine shad. Actually, Aaron was talking about using chatterbaits with a caffeine shad, and I found a package of caffeine shads in my basement. And then the other time where I was reminded of Aaron was on this other podcast I was listening to. The next latest, or the big craze in fishing now is whopper ploppers.
Yeah.
And
You guys got some crazy names for your lures.
whopper
That's
ploppers and
fantastic.
trapper hooks.
Makes me hungry.
Are the water poppers those big top waters with the big propellers?
They have a big propeller on the back.
Yeah.
You know, the tail spins and that makes a big whopping, plopping noise.
There you go.
Oh,
It's
that's how
not
they-
just a clever name.
Yeah, that's how they came up with it.
You heard it here first.
did.
Top water, so fun to fish.
It
Breaking
is.
R2 exclusive.
It is. Yeah.
To watch everything.
The other thing is trout season starting soon, and I'm getting really excited for that. So we've got another. Well, when this is released, it'll be only a few days till opening day of trout season in the 18 southeast counties in Pennsylvania. So this weekend is take your kid fishing on, take your kid trout fishing. And so kids can fish on Saturday, but I'm excited for that. So.
It's coming up real quick. I was actually was kind of hoping Sean might have been around the table here with us tonight.
Yeah.
Because I was going to try to turn him upside down and see if I couldn't shake any flies out of him. My box is looking pretty sad right now.
Yeah, I stopped trying to tie flies. It's so much easier to slide Sean a couple bucks and get a that's Sean Holsinger with holsingersflyshop.com. Slide him a couple bucks and
don't forget Holsinger's guide service as well.
Yeah.
Are you working for like that Plugola stuff now? Is that what it is?
What?
Say the website.
Are you on Sean's Pro Staff?
Holsingersflyshop.com.
Better not get on Matt's radar. That's for sure. He'll call him that plug-in of other products.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of other plugs, this is all organic, so I don't feel bad doing it. Our Instagram continues to go wild.
Boom.
Good.
Couple worthy of a mention. R. Tanner, 512. I don't know who these Keystone Outdoor guys are, but they're liking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, never heard of them.
And then Northern Quest Outdoors is liking some stuff. Premium Game Calls. Northeast Beasts on Instagram. Check them out. It's a couple more in here.
I don't know if it was just coincidence, but
Shambach the Wookiee. Shambaka
the Wookiee. I got a bunch of like Instagram followers this week, and I feel bad for these people because they're going to be sorely disappointed here real quick.
Maybe they're just dipping their toe into the R2 pool. Though.
I hope so.
We those are maybe the people that are starting off light.
Steve, I don't think Will's going to let them be disappointed.
No. They're going to
keep after you about it.
They're going to be so fired up.
I mean, they're going to love it.
Dan Green podcast. Maximum Drift podcasts or Driftcast, Maximum Drift. Just the few. I mean, off the top of my head, the Southern Fin Apparel and BJ the Dreamer, Pike Diesel. Get you some.
Pike Diesel.
Nice.
Okay.
Those are just all names that came to your head.
Yeah, right off the top.
Yeah.
So thanks for liking our stuff, like really, really liking our stuff. And thank you for everything.
Speaking of diesels.
Yeah.
I've got some news this week.
I saw something in the driveway.
The F-250's back, baby.
Is it?
Not blowing smoke anymore.
How many injectors did you replace?
I replaced 4 of them. I got the economy deal.
I got the economy deal.
If I had to replace a second one with them having to tear back down, it would have been $600 more just to replace 2 compared to once they're broken down, all 4 on that side. So, it's a no-brainer. You
do them all.
You do them all.
Yep.
So
you got like the Sam's Club injector deal.
Yeah. Speaking of Sam's Club, Sammy set me up with these folks at Central Auto there in, I guess, was Anvil, South Anvil.
Yeah.
So quick shout out to them. They did me good. I mean,
all right.
Good job. Yep. And so did Sammy. So shout out to Sammy P.
Woo. The General.
Yeah.
So, one more thing before we officially start our show. We got a special guest on the line here. He is actually a real Bass Pro.
Nice.
A Bass Pro.
A Bass Pro.
That's a first for the
He's a double pro.
R2 show.
So, without further ado, Tracy Groves is on the line. We're going to talk in turkey a little bit.
Good evening, guys. How y'all doing?
Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. How are you?
Doing good. Listen to the show there. You need to trade that Ford in on a Dodge Ram. You won't have those problems there.
Oh, Trace. Tracy, just to give you a little history, I was the unfortunate buyer of a 2004 F-250 Power Stroke the year that they went into the 6.0 debacle. So
So his advice is the same.
Yeah, I
been there, done that, and moved on to Ram.
Have you?
Oh man,
I might have to look into the Dodge Rams. Definitely not a Chevy. So I'm
you got that right.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
shut your mouth.
That's something we can agree on there, Trace.
Yes, sir. Sorry, Will. I didn't mean to throw you off guard there, but I heard that there about the Ford.
What? You're breaking up.
Yeah. So turkey season's right around the corner. Birds are gobbling.
Yeah. I've been seeing some in the fields, which isn't good for PA. But
PA boys are in trouble this year. Well, they were in trouble last year as well, but
yeah.
They were going to be in trouble this year. The birds they're already starting to show themselves in the fields. Turkeys are starting to break up into their groups, and the jakes are going together. 2 years are going together. The monarch birds are going together, and I believe the birds are going to start breeding this weekend.
Yeah.
From what I've seen and how they're breaking up and what they're doing, I believe there's going to be some birds that actually start to breed this weekend. But
yeah, it's
anyway,
a little early for that, but
means we're going to be
that's a shame.
Day late and $1 short.
Probably. I saw four jakes running together in the field. Was that right after the snow stopped?
Yeah,
last week. So.
Yeah. The last several years, the last 3 years now, birds have been starting to breed that last week of March in Maryland. It's not good. They're a little off kilt, but anyway.
So what do you got going on, Trace?
Well, the Bass Pro Shops there in Arundel Mills down in Baltimore, just outside of Baltimore, Arundel Mills. There's a turkey expo going to be started on April the 1st, and they're going to be talking turkey. They have a fishing classic that weekend too, so people could come down and kind of kill two birds with one stone, and they could get ready for the trout season and
I see what you did there.
And bass season, and also at the same time come down and learn about the turkeys. And we're going to be doing everything from pattern your turkey guns with different chokes and different ammos and different guns, which choke tube shoots the best, and actually how to pattern your turkey gun. You would be shocked at how many guys that actually go into the woods turkey hunt and never pattern their gun. And every choke tube, every ammunition, every load shoots differently. And so we're going to be talking about that. Going to have some of the Mossy Oak Pro Staff guys there on hand. There's going to be different vendors from different call companies there as well. And then we're also going to be doing a 101 kind of turkey call class on how to start to run a mouse call, and then we're going to go into the advanced calls as well and have a time there where we can actually teach people how to run calls and talk turkey for a few hours and get ready for the upcoming season. It's on April the 1st there at the Arundel Mills in just outside of Baltimore.
Nice.
Baltimore, Maryland. So there's a Bass Pro there in Harrisburg that's close to you guys.
Yes, sir.
So they may be doing something as well. You just need to check in with that store, but I'm not sure what they're going on there. But the one in Arundel Mills just outside of Baltimore has got some cool stuff going to be happening.
Yeah, I think we're going to try and make it to one of those stores. We'll probably maybe put on Facebook where we're going to be that week or that weekend. It's a Saturday, so. But yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah,
it's always a good time. We look forward to get you ready. It always gets you going,
Oh yeah.
When the Bass Pros they run some good sales that weekend, and just like you said, get you in the mood. Everybody's running the calls. You walk in and loud and clear, you're hearing the yelps and the gobbles. And
it sounds like we might need to run down to the Arundel Mills store, though.
Yeah,
I want to hear more about this Maryland season they got, where you can get two birds with one stone.
Yeah, now would that get us in trouble? Two birds with one stone?
You can shoot two birds with one stone, but they have to be on different days.
Yeah.
So how you're going to do that might be a little bit difficult.
So your past shooting hours at 12:59, 59.
You got to catch it on the arc. Yeah.
11:59 in Maryland.
Yeah.
So one of the other cool things too that's going to be there, Will, is they're going to have calls on hand that's set up in a box where you can actually try those different calls to see which one kind of sounds better to your ear. And then also one of the things we're going to be doing too is in our seminar times with a gentleman by the name of Gene Hyatt. He works with the Maryland chapter in WTF. We're we're going to be talking about the breeding transitions of turkeys. There's three breeding transitions of turkeys, and not every state will experience all three breeding transitions, and that gets into a deep subject, but we're going to be talking about that as well. So it's really just going to be a fun-filled day of learning about calls and pattern your guns and which choke tubes and which shell shoots the best. And we'll have samples there as well on hand. We pattern, we'll have about 15 different targets there with different shot placements from a Browning, a Mossberg, a Winchester, and then we'll have patterns there of different things that you can actually see of what the patterns are in your guns. And we get an opportunity to do a lot of that for Bass Pro Shop, and you'll be able to see those targets there as well and kind of get an idea of what your gun can possibly do.
Nice. I'm always fascinated. Cool. I'm always fascinated by that cycle, the turkey breeding cycle. It just seems like every year I learn something just a little bit different, and
3 phases of it. I didn't know.
It's fascinating.
I like it.
Yeah. So
yeah. We used to hunt just the state of Maryland. I used to hunt just Garrett County, and always shoot that bird on the last week of the season. And finally, I started to learn about the transitions and where the birds are in their transitions. So now I travel around the state depending on what the birds are doing and which transition. So you might be on the Eastern Shore one weekend and the birds are in one transition, and then you're up in the western part of the state later in the season for a different transition, and allows you want to hunt the bird that wants to be killed, and that's the thing with turkey hunting. It's totally different than deer hunting. Anybody can shoot a deer.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that one that wants to be.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that turkey too.
And that also determines on what phase they're in, determines what decoys you put out, right?
That's exactly right. Whether you do use a decoy or don't use a decoy, and then which decoy you actually use, it all plays a part. And Bass Pro has a great variety of all the decoys, all the calls. I was just actually down the store yesterday checking on their ammo supply and the different calls that they brought in this year, and the decoys, and Zinc, the Avian X. They have a great supply of those decoys there on hand, the Primos decoys. So they got a great variety of decoys and calls. So they're fully stocked and ready for the event there on April the 1st.
Awesome. That sounds great, Trace. Thank you so much for updating us and calling in. Appreciate it.
No problem. Hope we'll get an opportunity to see you guys down there, and we'll be able to share in some calls there, and more importantly, hopefully we'll get to sit underneath of a tree one day this year and listen to turkey gobble.
You don't have to twist my arm.
Okay.
Well, Tracy, before you go though, could I ask you a quick question? This is an unofficial survey I've been taking. All weather factors aside, I'd like to know, as far as friction calls, slate or glass? What's your preference?
Slate.
Attaboy. I mean, I duly noted.
I mean, thank you, sir.
I like it.
Slate. Hey, the soft call always wins with the women.
Yeah.
Yep.
The soft call always wins. And the slate you can get really soft. You can get soft on a glass too, but a glass is really designed for reaching out there during the wind and windy days, rainy days. But slate finishes them off. A slate call you wake them up with a slate, and you put them to sleep with a slate.
I have one more thing to share before we let you go. One of the times I was with Tracy in the Predator Hall at the outdoor show, and we were talking a little bit of turkey, and he's like, "You hear those guys over there? Don't do that."
Yeah.
That was my first turkey lesson from Trace.
I mean, that's got to be some of the best advice as far as turkey hunting in Pennsylvania goes. After the youth opener, I mean, forget it. You can't get aggressive with the Pennsylvania bird.
Yeah, he said it'll call in dudes, to buy your turkey call, but it won't.
there are certain times through the breeding transitions. There are certain times where it doesn't really matter what you sound like, but for the most part, you better sound pretty good, or you're in trouble. But I'm not sure who the one that said there about Pennsylvania, but that is one of the key things is that so many guys will get too aggressive first thing in the morning, and they've ruined the hunt before it even gets started. So just kind of one of the rule of thumbs is, and we're kind of, I know we could take up your whole show just talking turkey, but one of the things you have to remember is wake them up soft and put them to sleep soft. There are those rare occasions that you can just lay into them and they're going to run to the gun barrel and you blow their head off, but that's not very often.
Right.
Most of the time you wake them up soft and put them to sleep soft.
You're like a poet, Tracy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like
no, we're just starting to talk my language. It's getting to be turkey season.
Yeah, it's almost here.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you so much, Trace.
Thanks, Trace.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Tracy.
Pleasure. Okay, we'll see you guys on April the 1st down there at the Bass Pro Turkey Classic.
You got it.
See you, man.
Have a great evening, guys.
God bless you.
Bye. Bye.
I could listen to Tracy talk about hunting.
I feel so bad.
Hours.
Yeah, cutting him off. He just knows so much.
I was ready to roll for an hour on that.
I almost started asking a couple questions, and then it would have been.
I have so many questions as a beginner.
Restrained.
Oh my!
Kyle was muzzling me because I would take.
I was holding you. It's all right.
Did you say muzzling?
Nuzzling.
Well, that'll keep me quiet too.
I place his head upon my bosom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kyle,
what about Kyle?
So we are going to open the door for some questioning.
Yeah.
For all things Kyle, we're going to fire up round 2 of the.
You guys tricked me.
Get to know
R2.
Yeah.
You guys told me we were
Kyle
podcasting
edition
about turkeys.
Oh, we are.
A big old
Exhibit A.
just one that can't grow a beard.
Yeah, but I could try.
Oh, by the way, Kyle, speaking of beards,
this is
you and I,
Jake edition.
I was called out on Span the Void for having a Kyle-esque beard now since I've trimmed down. Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
Well, that's the guy that likes to think he's got a glorious beard.
It's a guy that resorts to twisting knobs and dealing with steamy air to put in his coffee.
Hey, look at the bright side, Phil. You have never seen Brokeback Mountain.
I have not. True that.
Yeah. So you guys got some questions for me, huh?
So do you want to do the rapid fire? So when we talked to Sammy P a few weeks ago, he was
Machine gun questions.
Yeah, it was this machine gun rapid fire. You cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
You ready?
I was born ready.
Right, we're going to let Phil start us off here.
Oh, man.
Over the roll or under the roll, Kyle?
I don't even know what that means.
It's toilet paper.
Oh.
How do you put it on the roll?
Under.
Stromboli or calzone?
Oh, no.
I knew that one was coming. I had a feeling.
Oh, man. What about
this
flavor?
This is rapid fire, bud. You got Stromboli, calzone.
Calzone.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Shotguns or bows?
Bow.
That's too fast. Just shotguns or bows.
Sorry.
Shotguns or bows?
Bows.
No, you don't have to answer it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tree stand or ground blind?
It's the first time we ever
stand.
podcasted.
Deer or elk?
Well, I've never been for elk, so I'm going to say deer.
That's a good answer.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
This is a big one. Hunting or fishing? I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Hunting. I'm sorry, Steve. But
pull the knife out of my bag.
All right. I got you. I will say, once it was warm, though, my hunting mind goes out the window.
I heard that.
Here's one that might get you in trouble at this table, depending upon the answer. Steelers or Eagles?
Eagles.
Steagles.
I will say I was a Steelers fan growing up as a kid, and then I got tired of being picked on as a front runner.
You got tired of winning?
Well, no, seriously. As a kid, everybody around me was an Eagles fan. They're like, "Why do you like the Steelers?" I was like, "I don't know, just always liked them as a kid." And it was right around the time that they were like pretty good,
of course,
and which is pretty much always. But yeah, so I got tired of being called a front runner. I was like, you know what? I said it's time to root for the home team. Been regretting it ever since.
You wouldn't happen to be a Flyers fan too?
Oh, I absolutely love the Flyers. Love the Flyers.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Uh-oh.
I'm just kidding. We can still be friends.
Aren't you a Bruins fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that doesn't even count.
Tacos or burritos?
Burritos.
Cotton or performance wear?
Performance.
Are we back on the underwear question? Is it?
Apparently.
Fabric. More of a fabric.
Yeah,
More of a fabric.
bamboo.
Bamboo silver laced.
Oh my!
Wow.
All right, this concludes the rapid fire section of our interview.
He passed it with flying colors.
So how old are you, Kyle?
I am 26 years old, born in the wonderful year of 1990.
1990. What do you do for a living?
I am a project manager for a construction company. We do a lot of site work and roads and utilities.
You build roads.
We do. Mostly developments, mostly housing developments.
Where we're
and,
going, we need
commercial
roads.
pads.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. Exciting and stressful,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Where'd you grow up, Kyle?
I grew up in a little town outside Philadelphia, about 45 minutes. Skip back, and then I attended college at the Pennsylvania College of Technology, located in Williamsport, PA.
Skip back.
Skip back. Skippack.
Skip back sounds like
Is that like
Clay Potts' neighbor.
Nickelback's cousin?
Skip Pack. Hey, Skip Pack was good to you this year. Well, got a dough in Skip Pack.
Is that where I was?
That is.
Yeah, that was in September, right?
Yeah.
It was early season.
First day.
Jeez.
What?
I guess you don't need to know the town, just the county municipality, right?
Yes,
That's right.
Exactly. I was along for the ride. It just happened.
Him and the old man.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
3 older brothers.
Oh, you were the youngest.
Indeed.
Are you the littlest?
No, I'm probably actually the biggest.
Nice.
He's decent sized.
I'm a mid-sized.
They're all large. They're all majorly large people.
I met his one brother at the Great American Outdoor Show, and he was no small fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm like 6'4", my other brother's 6'3", and then the other two are like 6'1" and 6'2".
On a bad day.
On a bad day.
It's like it's like 2 teams of draft horses there. I'm like, did your mom and dad have like kid pulls?
They must have. We actually all did a Budweiser commercial when we were growing up.
Did they hook you up to like the sled and put like cinder blocks on it? Pull, Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Kid pulls.
Kid pulls.
Be
good for entertainment.
Yeah. They entered him in a tractor pull and didn't buy a tractor.
So are you guys all close in age?
Yeah, we're all pretty much give or take 2 years apart.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all I think me and the next brother are like 2.5. Then the other two are like right around I think like 22 months, and then the other two are right around 2 years too.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not to.
Not too.
No, I'll let you guys ask me the questions, I guess, some other time. But I'm 3 of 4, so it makes some of these things are starting to make sense because
absolutely,
yeah, you got to have a real good sense of humor. You got to be able to take a joke pretty well,
and a beating.
Yeah, you can take a beating too.
Yeah.
But being the youngest,
know how to stick up for yourself,
the youngest of 4, and obviously you got the genes for it anyway. But you need to bulk up sometimes because you're going to take a beating.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Yeah, but
How do you answer that?
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Wouldn't you know how to answer it?
I wouldn't know how to answer it.
It's easy. What do you?
How do you answer that?
Batman obtained his skills. Superman was basically just born with them. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, he had to lose his planet and family and everything too, and be sent across.
Yeah, but the biggest issue with Superman,
it's not like
he has a major
him.
weakness. So that's all I'm going to say.
Not that I would have chosen Batman as well, but I want to give Superman his due. I mean, it's
Batman's
just not,
major weakness is he's a dude.
he's a dude with lots of money.
Dude.
I'd figure in this world, if Batman were really true and it could happen, we'd have like 4 or 5 of them right now in this world.
Maybe we do.
Maybe he's your president.
Oh, it's going to be huge. I highly doubt it. I mean, the guy's about 80 years old. I mean,
Yeah, well, he does things bigly.
bigly.
I remember that. The
He's
original,
making the Batmobile great again.
the original Superman movie, with
Clark,
with
Clark Kent.
Clark Griswold.
with Clark Griswold, Superman European Vacation, or the original Superman movie. That was so cool at the time, and then I think of the original Batman movie. It's just, I don't know,
Not the same.
Not the same. No, Superman for me was better than that. This is not the get to know.
Get to know Superman versus Batman.
I would just have a hard time answering that question.
Hey, it's all right.
Anyway,
it happens to all of us.
I can see you getting torn up about it. So
Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. I still love you.
I know we don't want to get right back into the rapid fire stuff again, but I do have one. It's
all right.
Smooth or crunchy.
Keep them coming. Oh, crunchy all the way.
The peanut butter,
of course.
varietal.
Fixed blade or mechanicals? I know we're getting into that again.
Mechanicals.
All right.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I've always I started using them when I was a kid. Like I started out bow hunting with a crossbow, and then I
mechanized.
And I just rolled over right into shooting my compound with them. I mean, other than I think one time
Started out like 55 pounds as a child.
I mean,
6.
I think other than like one time, and of course it was on the biggest buck I ever shot, I've had an issue with mechanicals. But I'm not really opposed to fixed. I've always shot mechanicals.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the fixed blades.
Don't be scared, bud.
Well, now that I got a personal bow mechanic to help me tune my bow, I
Isn't
think
that
Fix it.
convenient?
But I've seen a picture on your Facebook page there. It was a G5. What was that? one you put a picture up of?
what the T3?
The T-
yeah.
Yeah, the
No,
T3.
G5 Havoc. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like a G6.
I jump around. I started shooting rages, and I had that mishap with the biggest buck of my life, and then I shot the NAP kill zone, and then I had a mishap with them. And I was like, "That's it."
Those Havocs look mean, man.
Oh yeah, they do.
They'll do the job.
I have yet to shoot one with the Havocs yet. I switched over the Havocs halfway through the season when I shot that doe with the kill zone, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm switching."
Yeah.
Tell the story about the biggest buck of your life you missed.
Oh, I didn't miss him. I hit him.
Didn't. You did.
Hit him too far forward in the shoulder.
Ah.
And pretty sure arrow penetration was horrible.
You hit the close shoulder.
Yeah, close shoulder, and arrow penetration was horrible. Probably only went in 10 yards. He ran.
It was gone.
It was gone. One of the worst feelings ever.
Yeah, but it happens. I mean, you don't want to bring the podcast down, but it happens.
It does happen.
So you do the self-filming thing.
I do.
And you're a big archery guy.
Huge archery.
So here's a question I got for you now. You've probably, looking at you got a big wingspan. I'm guessing you're 31-inch draw minimum.
No.
What's your draw length?
No,
it's up for debate.
This was funny.
Okay.
Last time we shot
at the Great American Outdoor Show.
Yeah, they started setting them up with a bow for a big wingspan dude.
Uh-huh.
Kyle's like, "No, I'm only 29."
Stop it.
Yeah.
The guy looks at me.
You said 20.
The guy looks at me. He's like, You're not 29. I was like, yeah, that's what the bow I shoot. It's 29. I'm telling you.
Yeah, maybe when you're 14.
Do you hold it like Cupid?
No, I don't know. I don't know if my string stretched or what, but when I hold it, I mean,
it doesn't stretch 4 inches.
It might.
You know what?
He's got a strap on his release that goes
again
about 12.
Like I said. Strap. I only go to my bow shop pretty much to buy arrows, and then
that's all he had that day was a 29er.
All right. Well, where I was going with that was based on a larger draw or a longer draw length. I'm thinking that you're probably shooting a pretty significant axle on your bow.
You would have thought that, yeah.
But I guess that's not true either. So you're probably
his D loop.
My D loop's 3 inches long.
I can't use the kisser button. Okay, so my question really was going to be based on this
sight is a scope,
long axle to axle on your bow. The longer the axle to axle is, the more opportunity you have to shoot with fingers. Mm-hmm. These shorter bows, you get under 32-inch axle to axle, there's too much angle on that string. There's no way you could pull off a shot with your fingers.
Yeah.
Right? Again, thinking that you might have a longer axle to axle, maybe you could get away with the shot. My question was, if you got to the stand and forgot your release, or if you got to the stand and forgot your camera, which are you first to go back out for?
Oh, man.
Oh, absolutely my camera.
Okay.
My release, I'm confident enough that I could
pull off the finger shot.
It wouldn't be ideal, but
if you forget the camera, day's done. You're going back.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, 2 years ago, the buck that I shot, I actually forgot a piece of my fluid head. I actually tied my camera to the fluid head with string with paracord because I was that set on trying to get the shot.
Very cool. That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
It's, believe me, there's many times where I question myself asking what the hell I'm doing, because there's been plenty of times where it's caused me more grief than it has.
Do you find it's addicting though at this point?
Absolutely.
You're obsessed with it.
And the biggest thing that I love about the self-filming is it's not even sharing it with the people. It's just the fact when I shoot a deer, and if I have it on film, I can replay, rewind before I even move out of that tree stand. I can figure out where exactly I hit that deer and know, should I wait? Shouldn't I wait? And you know as well as I do, and half the guys at the table, when you're doing archery, that 30 minutes, 15 minutes can make all the difference in the world between finding your deer, kicking it, and causing major issues.
It feels like a lifetime too, sitting in that tree. And that's when, without the camera, I'm just replaying stuff in my mind, and things are changing. And I don't know if I ever told you guys, I got a buck this year. I should tell you that story sometime.
Oh, that is a fantastic.
Did you?
Yes.
No way.
You got a buck.
Congratulations.
I'll tell you all about it sometime.
Yeah. I'd love to hear it.
But yeah, it's good stuff. I've heard that the filming thing is very addictive.
It is.
Difficult. Hands down, one of the hardest things to do.
I hate it.
Is to do it successfully.
Do you hate it?
Yeah,
but addictive.
Especially self-filming. Like, if you have like a buddy where like you guys are both like, let's film each other. It's one thing, but when you're self-filming, it's a lot more gear to carry to the stand. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more time to get set up. It's a lot more just everything, and it's like.
Yeah, that's that other picture I saw on your Facebook. I was stalking you a little bit today. Sorry, I was scrolling back through from
good.
Before I got to meet you. Yeah. So going back through some of that, there's like a picture. Your gear was all laid out. It was all camera gear. I'm like, that's more stuff than I take in archery season, rifle season, and late season muzzleloader all combined. Just laying in a pile.
I know that exact picture that you're talking about. That was before I went up for opening day of rifle. I also made the mistake of, I think I tracked it on my phone. It was 1.5 miles or 1.75 miles back with all that, plus my climber, which I have one of the older Summits, which isn't light. It's
one of the big steel ones.
Yeah. That one is, I think my Summit's like 22 pounds or something like that. So that plus my camera gear. So
do not cry for him, Argentina. I know you're listening down there.
Literally, Argentina.
We've broken into the Argentinian market, so I'm not talking out of my butt here. But I can't. Okay, so when I hunt with him, I mean, I'm loaded down just like everybody else, and and I just watch him just crawl away from me with his gigantic legs and crest every hill, and I call him on the CB or the handheld or whatever. I'm like, at least take my pack or something.
Once he starts to pull away that first 5 or 10 yards, you're like, Kyle.
Yeah,
Kyle.
That's like flashing lights.
Slow down.
It definitely helps having the long legs for sure.
He ends up grabbing my pack. Fine. Try to keep up. Especially when I'm not in, we're in uncharted woods.
Yeah. Road's 30 yards from
Sometimes it works out like that when you're
hunting city limits.
Yeah.
So what was the last hunt you were on?
Wild boar in Florida. Or wild hog.
That sounds like fun.
It was. That was a good time. That was down God's Country Outfitters. Awesome time. Pretty much ran dogs in the morning and sat in the evenings.
Did you jump out a tree with a plastic bag on them, or?
Absolutely.
All right.
No, they actually use mostly ground blinds down there, and they have a couple like tower blinds and stuff, but a lot of it's ground blinds. But yeah, that was a good time. Definitely. I mean, in the near future, I want to do, like a big game hunt, whether it's mule deer, or elk, or something out of state, even if it's for a whitetail.
Moose.
Yeah, I'm gonna be saving up for years for that moose hunt, buddy.
What's your bucket list hunt?
I'd say definitely my bucket list hunt is going to be elk. Hunting elk in the Rockies. I mean, I've just seen
running with the elk.
Yeah, running with the elk, not shooting one.
Side by side.
Yeah, we're both tall, large, majestic creatures. So I figured. But yeah, I mean, just
you see huge racks.
Yeah, huge racks. I mean, you see those videos of those.
Sorry, I
couldn't pass that up.
You see those videos of those huge racks, and
that's why Matt's so enamored with you.
Oh God! But yeah,
span the void, Matt.
Yeah, span the void, Matt. Brokeback Matt. But yeah, no, those just elk would be hands down my bucket list. I mean, the whole them hammering, bugling, and you're coming right to you with that cow call. I mean, the suspense of that hunt, I could only even imagine.
What's the name of the county in Pennsylvania where you can go listen to?
Is it Elk County?
It is Elk County.
It's a clever name.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder why they named it that.
I don't know. Now, what are the restrictions on hunting elk in Pennsylvania? That's pretty.
It's a draw.
Yeah, it's a lottery system, which, from what I heard, is very hard to get drawn.
I actually know a gentleman that had drawn a bull elk tag this year or for last season, and actually went on a guided hunt and harvested himself a nice bull elk. And here recently, he was just at a gun raffle and won a cow elk hunt for this next season. That
lightning.
And
lightning striking 2 times.
Gentleman's probably I don't know, maybe 60s, 70s.
Really?
And all his life he's tried to do this, and now 2 seasons in a row he might complete the deal.
I'd be happy with anything just for the meat.
Yeah, sorry to diverge off of Kyle, but I've never heard of something like that. So
what's the success rate up there in Pennsylvania?
I think it's close to 100.
Yeah, I think if you draw, you're
getting one.
You're at least getting a shot.
Yeah, because they manage the population so well and only release so many tags. I mean, I've also heard like record wise, like it's a good chance you get a record in PA just because they manage them so well. I mean, they're monsters up there.
And the guides are, I guess, on top of it.
It's really regulated.
Yeah,
that's part of it is you have to get a guide.
Yeah.
Like you can't just draw for the tag and be like, sweet, see you guys later. I'm going out to the state forest, and hopefully I'll run into one. You got to get a guide.
Yeah.
Wow.
The way I understand it.
And the competition
some regs
is
changed since I read it
Kentucky
last.
is the same way, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
The Kentucky elk herd is the same.
It sounds like you'd have a better chance
anyway,
going out west.
Yeah. As far as tag wise, yeah.
Yeah.
back to Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Sorry. Hey, Kyle, who got you into hunting? I mean, because you are like, for being a young man, you're pretty.
It's kind of a funny story. So I got started.
Funny strange or funny ha?
Well, no, it's interesting with kind of how everything played out. But I mean, I remember being like 4-year-old and pretty much being my dad's flushing dog. My dad, he
Go get him, boy.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my dad works for the township, and he's worked for the township his whole life. So he always had like the old orange and like bright colored shirts. So pretty much when my brothers and I were younger, they'd slap some orange shirts on us and
see that sawgrass and thorn bushes over there?
Yeah, it'd pretty much be him and some of his buddies, and we all graduated from that level as we got old enough to hunt. But yeah, that's how I started. Pretty much flushing small game with my dad, and then
I started flushing small game with my dad.
Yeah, and then
then there might be something to that, though.
Yeah,
I mean, to keep a young guy interested in it, I mean, get him out there, let him crash through the brush, and have fun like that.
Yeah,
you were driving deer to him and all kinds.
No, I didn't really go on any deer drives till I was old enough to hunt, but. Yeah, but same thing. I mean, even with the deer, that was like another big thing, like another step in the journey for me and my brothers, because we always keep the tradition of going up to our cabin deer hunting. I mean, it's not big buck area. I mean, our cabin's up in the Poconos, but it backs up to state game lands, and it's kind of unique where there's no running water, electricity back where our cabin is, so it's roughing it and. But growing up as kids, it was like that was the big thing. Like once one of my brothers would turn old enough to hunt, it's like they'd be going up with dad to deer camp, and then it's like the next one goes, and it's like
you're just waiting.
Yeah, me being the youngest, it's like come on, and then got
stupid head.
Yeah, I hate you. But well, the funny thing is, when I was a kid, my dad always called it going up to the mountains. So I used to think like. Oh, yeah, they just hike up to the top of the mountain and roll out sleeping bags and just sleep at the peak of a mountain. But
he was your hero, probably,
Yeah.
Why not?
And
that's how the Cowboys do.
Yeah. But so that's how I got into small game and then deer hunting. And then it's kind of funny. Once, like, my oldest brother was pretty much old enough to mentor basically, like, me as a younger brother. My dad kind of just stepped back, and it was pretty much just me and my brothers then doing all the hunting, and then archery.
Kind of like Legends of the Fall.
Yeah.
I'm picturing that. He's waiting at home with his buffalo hide warm coat with the eye popping out. Oh, man.
I never saw that chick flick.
Is that like
it's not as bad as a river runs through it as a group of guys. Someone I know gets all going on. It's a great fishing movie. I don't know. I fell asleep in that movie, but I did watch Legends of the Fall for the most part.
Yeah.
But sorry,
it's
as broke back as I'm going to get.
Who was in that movie?
Brad Pitt in both movies.
Never heard of it.
It was just, I don't know if you listened to the Span the Void they were saying. Ryan said, I've never seen that chick flick. It's awesome.
What the hell were we even talking about?
I'm sorry.
My dad being wrapped in a buffalo pelt.
Because all you boys did all the hunting, bringing all the meat back to the house. You just got to cook it up and eat it.
Yeah, I feel like you guys are more like young guns. Or you guys are regulators.
That's all right. So yeah, that's how I kind of got rolling and everything. And then I was right around 14 or 15, like just watching a boatload of hunting TV. I was like, because I mean, I had gotten a couple deer when I was younger, and I was like, man, this whole bow hunting thing, I really want to give it a try. And my dad at the time, this was before PA released their the special regs for crossbows. At the time, it was only like juniors and people with the written notice could use crossbows. Yep. So my dad had a crossbow from when he had broken his wrist years ago. Drawing the regular bow had something to do with his wrist, where it like caused him extreme pain in his wrist. But so I wanted to basically get into bow hunting. Basically, I was still a minor at the time, so we had this property behind our house that we could hunt. So basically, the rule of thumb via the game book is you have to be within yelling distance of your mentor. So basically, I would go behind our house. I mean, probably well beyond yelling distance at 15 years old with his crossbow, and it just kind of totally changed me as a hunter because, I mean, the amount of deer that I saw, because growing up, I mean, all we did was what most PA kids grew up doing, deer drives and, the first couple of days of rifle. And I mean, seeing the deer move the way they did when I was hunting archery just completely hooked me, and that was all she wrote.
Different world.
Oh,
I have to agree because I think that's one of the best parts of hunting deer is
waking up.
Is really waking up. Who said it the other day? Folger.
Yeah.
But actually being out there. It was Chris Pratt just recently in an interview, I believe. He said part of what he loves about hunting is getting out into the woods before nature wakes up. Oh, yeah. And then experiencing that is a majority of the zen,
the mystique, the
zen of hunting.
Yeah,
but that's amazing. That's why you're as obsessed as you are with bow hunting.
Yeah,
because I'm very similar in the backgrounds and stuff, so it makes a lot of sense. It's a whole different world.
Yeah, and it just completely turns you on to that whole aspect of it when it's like they're complete polar opposites. As far as Pennsylvania goes, it's polar opposites.
Well, and that's something that you're going to. I mean, this is a family camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something you have to make sure that you maintain it somehow so that now you got the little one on the way.
Yep.
You'll be able to get him up there.
Yep.
Because I was really worried for my kids that they wouldn't have that sort of camp mentality, even though, where I was going at 12 years old, it was a house. It was somebody's house, but it still was camp.
It
was my uncle's farm
camp
upstate.
Atmosphere.
So it was a farm and it was rural, but it still was camp, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's bringing sleeping bags, rolling them out on the floor.
Yep.
But I was afraid we weren't going to have that for my kids, and now we go somewhere where there's no reason to hunt deer there, but we go there because that's what it is.
Yeah.
The last 2 days that we're up there are the first 2 days of the rifle season in Pennsylvania, and they're the worst 2 days of the experience. We're up there 5-6 days, depending upon when we leave, and they really enjoy it too.
Yeah.
So it's
a rite of passage. Yeah, and I heard you talk before on Span the Void too about that whole hunting camp atmosphere, and it's true. I mean, as a kid, when you're going up there with dad, it's basically that male bonding experience that it's basically you coming out of your own shell, and it's
you're 12 years old. You're like, I didn't know my dad knew that word.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dad drank whiskey this weekend.
But you better not tell mom that when you
exactly.
You'd be in big trouble.
Oh man.
With both of them.
So, what else? What's your biggest fear? I want to get rolling with more things, all things Kyle.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is not being able to do what I love to do. So that's with hunting and just life in general. I think my biggest fear, like being the youngest of four brothers, I think my biggest fear is just people trying to control me. And I've always had that mentality growing up, and even with work, I struggle with that sometimes. It's like I'm kind of the full steam ahead, going my own path.
No, no, you're not. Really?
Sometimes.
Interesting.
Never heard of it that
way. Which is actually a phenomenon with a millennial. I mean, Kyle's not the typical, 27-year-old?
26, going to be 27, yeah.
I mean, that's You're a unicorn.
I
generation guy. And
I greatly attribute that to my upbringing between my parents and both my brothers. It's like that. Without that upbringing, I wouldn't even. I tell people all the time. My parents taught me what hard work is and
respect
how, and respect,
work ethic,
and how when you want something, you don't get it given to you. You earn it.
You go and get it.
Yeah. And that's with monetary things or something out of your reach that you want. You work for it and you go get it.
You're definitely gung ho. That's and that's what I love about you. I mean, you kind of get the old pappy out of my rear end and give me a little bit of that youth, and I like that.
Yeah,
I really do.
No,
I mean,
it's a blessing and a curse because I mean sometimes I struggle to turn it off, and it's like
for the most part I like it, and it's good for me because it helps pull me back down to you guys a little bit more.
You hunt that way as well. I mean, you're not afraid to try new things.
Oh yeah,
go out and try new areas and just go get it. Get yourself.
And I've yet to kill a super large buck. I mean, large, I say, 130, 120 or greater. I've come close. The buck I harvested 2 years ago was about 110 inches. And for me, that's it's under my skin, and I've been striving for it probably about the past 3 or 4 seasons. And it's kind of been what's been driving me as far as hunting. Now I can't say what'll happen once I do harvest a deer of that caliber, but
tears.
Yeah.
Do you pass on?
Absolutely.
How many deer did you pass on this year? Because I
think at least 3.
I could probably show you pictures of all the buck that I have video of all of them.
You were out during archery season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how many times. Every day it seemed like you were either scouting or you were out.
Yeah.
You were hunting every day.
This year was the closest I came to harvesting a buck of my caliber, of my dreams, I guess you could say. I had a buck at 40 yards broadside, and it was kind of one of those things. I practice out to 40 yards. I'm fairly competent at 40 yards, but it's just I didn't have the
lane.
The combination of the lane, the confidence, and also the way things played out. I thought he was going to come closer, and it's kind of one of those things. It's like you have that split second to decide, and
you had him broadside, 40 yards,
absolutely,
and you did not take the shot.
Did not take the shot. I have the whole thing on footage. I can show you.
I have a whole new level of respect for you, and that's not. I'm not BSing right now. I'm trying to keep it clean. But that is something I would struggle with, and not to say. I mean, yes, I'm older, obviously, but not to say that I'm some seasoned veteran when all this. I mean, we heard the stories. I get to sew machine leg as quick as anybody else as soon as a little doe walks in, but. Man, that's good stuff there.
I had the bow in hand, and I was.
Do you ever regret passing?
No, I don't ever regret passing because the way I look at it is, it gives that deer an opportunity. It's a respect thing because I mean, I fish a lot too, and
do you pass on fish?
No, but majority of my fishing is catch and release, and I mean,
don't bite that hook.
I kind of relate the two. I mean, when you catch a big fish, it's kind of like this. I respect you. It's this moment where it's like, you know what, this is an awesome creature. Like this thing's 20, 30 years old, and I just caught it. Like touche, away you go, and it's like
I was 10 yards away from a 10-pound brown.
You let it pass?
I pulled my lure on it because I was just so majestic.
Didn't want him to bite.
Didn't want him to. You just wanted him to
easy. Swim away, buddy.
Swim upstream.
But yeah, no,
that makes sense. That's a good analogy.
No, but I mean, I've definitely. It's tough. When the season's wrapping up, it definitely replays in the back of my mind of all the deer that I passed, and it's tough to try and go through all those memories and be like, you passed up that one. You had that opportunity. That one was licking the tip of your arrow.
Licking the tip of your arrow.
I guess what it is, I mean, for me, what I'm saying is that it's very impressive.
Thank you.
That you're at where you're at your age.
Yeah.
And again, this isn't me being old talking down to you. What I'm saying is when I was your age, I was truly of that mentality. If it's brown, it's down.
Yeah.
Like it was something for me to get to the point where I'm at now where I probably could pass up something. Not saying I did. I killed a buck this year. I should tell you guys about it.
It's really
I haven't heard.
Congratulations.
I haven't heard of that story yet.
But it's the point now, but I feel like there's these transition points,
Yep.
In every hunter. And maybe I'm just a little bit jealous of you that you're able to get to that point now. I mean, it's a piece of confidence. It's something that you've got going for you that I'm envious of. I wish I would have had it at your age because I would be, not in a better place or anything like that. But it's impressive.
I tend to pass when my freezer is packed full. I tend to pass more than I do.
Well, that was my next question. I mean, are you hunting for food or are you hunting?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I definitely hunt for meat 100%. But I mean, I guess to my benefit, where I live, there is a significant amount of deer. So, I mean, I live in for our PA guys. I live. I currently actually just moved to up to the 5C area, but a lot of my hunting has been in the 5D area. So, special regs, just tons of deer. But I mean, so there's a large amount of doe where I'm at. So I kind of can be picky given the nature of where I hunt. There's always doe running around.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not fortunate to have that scenario.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not one to judge anybody for what their standards are when it comes to shooting deer, because I mean, at the end of the day, we're all hunting PA, and we all know how hard it is to even.
Nobody knows.
Even try and have any type of
the struggles we've seen,
any type of standards in PA, because there are a lot of, if it's brown, it's down, and it's
There's also a lot of, you hear this all the time, like the trophy's in the eye of the beholder, and then everyone follows that up with some qualifying statement.
Yeah,
trophy's in the eye of the beholder, but for an archery buck, that thing was awesome, or for shooting with the traditional bow, or shooting it with your muzzleloader, or this or that.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, if it was legal, hats off to you.
Exactly.
Good stuff.
If it's legal, if it was harvested legal, then more power to you. And I mean, I personally am currently chasing the 120, 130 inch deer, but I don't ever for a second snub my nose up at anybody that harvests an animal and they're happy with by any means. I mean, like you said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and whatever really gets your heart pumping and gives you that sewing machine leg, like you said. Hey, we're all hunting for different reasons, but at the end of the day, the goal is the same: is to harvest an animal and put meat in your freezer.
Hey, Kyle, speaking of heart pumping, what's your highest high hunting?
Oh man, I would probably say my highest high hunting was
when I shot my doe.
Yeah, when Will shot his doe and he picked up the old man that was hunting with him and just carried him off into the sunset.
That was nice of you.
It was beautiful.
That was.
When you picked out the tree?
When I picked out the tree, I said, Will, you climb this tree. Then I look over and Will's 2 feet off the ground. I said, Will, climb. I didn't say sit under it.
It's a nosebleed 3 feet off the ground.
I couldn't get up over this knot on the tree, and I was just slightly above his head. It's the lowest I've ever hunted before.
Now that we've heard Will's lowest low.
It was actually a new strategy we were trying out. Instead of going really high in the tree, we were trying to go as low as we could.
Duck under the wind.
The deer was
looking up, and Will was right here. Well, they had no no clue.
Everybody knows PA deer do look up.
Oh, absolutely.
Will is really on the cutting edge of PA hunting now.
Yeah.
They're used to looking like 17 to 20 feet. And I'm like, if I'm at 6 feet.
We found a blind spot. right up off of their eye level, but just under that.
I didn't want to give away that tonight, but I guess we did.
Yeah, they're never going to see him.
You guys are welcome.
Advantage, that's for sure.
I'd probably say my highest high hunting is my first archery buck. It's kind of crazy when I look back on it because it was like textbook what you want as a bow hunter. It was actually the last day of the season. I was hunting behind my house again. This old ladder stand, I think it was one of Ameristep's like first ladder stands. Like the ladder stand itself is only like 10 feet off the ground, maybe. Like, no, I'd probably say the ladder is like 6 feet and then the platform's at like 8 feet. So I get into the stand and I see this buck and he comes in out at probably like 50, 60 yards and he kind of loops around and like I lose him in the brush and I'm like, oh man, that looks like a buck. That's a really nice one. Then, next thing you know, he's at like 10 yards and turns broadside. And like, this is the first time I ever shot a deer with a bow.
And how old are you?
18.
Okay.
17. And I'm shaking and I was like, I just let the arrow fly.
That describes my last 3 years.
Yeah.
and I'm 40. I'll be 46. So
I have absolutely no clue where I hit this deer. I know where I was aiming, and I'm sitting there freaking out, like shaking, like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I get down, and thing ran like 50 yards, and it was just
magical.
Nice.
It was ridiculous.
You feel
that is
when
awesome,
that happens,
man.
you kind of feel like I've arrived.
Yeah. It's like
finally the hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm for real here. I'm just not coming out during rifle season. Like I know how I felt as a 40-something-odd-year-old man.
Yeah.
I could only imagine.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You start to. I mean, it starts to make sense, and you just feel like you're part of the club now.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like, at least with bow hunting, it's like I don't ever lose that feeling. Like every harvest I have, it's like, even when you know you have a good hit, it's like until like you're sitting in that tree stand shaking.
Kyle,
yeah.
I give you props because my buck I killed was nothing but a blind squirrel finding a nut. So I mean, I will be the first one that admits that. So I am really driven now to pick up this crossbow, get it right, and get me some meat on the ground this year because I want I'm not going to consider that my first archery kill.
What?
Yeah.
You have
No,
to?
that is your first year.
That's silly.
No,
Phil,
I'm not.
let me tell you
because I might as well close my eyes and shot. I mean, it was.
It's not like that.
Let me tell you
First light, 35 yards downhill. I was lucky to hit the spine so he wouldn't go very far, and that was with the string rifle. Nothing. Dang, you were 18 years old and you were drawing your man card, man. I'm still in the kiddie pool.
You ask any bow hunter, and every single I don't care how much effort and time you put into it.
Better be
at the end. Yeah,
good.
at the end of the day, it all comes down to luck. Because
It's meat in the freezer, bud.
Yeah, because
that's more opportunity than a lot of guys get in their whole life. So
I'm not going to take anything away from your next number 2, but that's your number 1. Bud.
you'll never forget that. Yeah, don't even.
No, I won't forget it.
No, I'm just saying, but don't ever knock it. It's your.
We all have that story, and I mean that wasn't my first deer. That was just my first archery buck that like had that epic story to it. I mean, it's just.
Kyle, you what kind of truck do you have?
I drive a GMC Sierra.
Get you some.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let's shift gears a little bit.
All right,
if we can
downshift.
Yeah, downshift a little. Let's
grinder in there.
Grinder into
grind it till you find it.
Grind it into the 4th injector or something.
If you can't find it, grind it. But you're going to blow your number 7 injector.
Let's move on to fishing.
Fishing.
Yeah. What? I don't think we have a whole lot of time here, so I'm sorry, but
No, that's all right.
What's your favorite kind of fishing?
What's your favorite? Sneak it in there.
bass fishing, but if I had to pick a bass, smallmouth.
Smallies.
Yeah. Kayak fishing on rivers is actually wet wading is how I started out growing up. Same thing with my dad, going to all the rivers and creeks around our house. And I've adapted that into kayak fishing. But, yeah, fishing for smallies, nothing beats it.
Where do you fish? Your favorite place to fish for that?
Mostly, a lot of my fishing is on the Schuylkill River. That's in southeastern PA. But I have branched out. This summer, I actually did a lot of kind of scouting around. I fished the Schuylkill, the Delaware, the Lehigh River. Hit all those this summer.
That's some nice fishing.
Yeah.
What kind of fish are in that area?
The Delaware we caught mostly smallmouth, but actually when we were fishing,
I heard they're smallmouth.
When we were fishing the Delaware, we caught something like baby striped bass, like 6-inch striped bass.
Really?
Yeah, they were vicious.
Chain pickerel.
Yeah, we caught some chain pickerel, not in the Delaware. Caught a couple pickerel in the Lehigh River, as well as some trout and smallmouth. And then the Schuylkill was pretty much all smallmouth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Spin caster. I mean,
yeah.
bait caster or spinning reel.
I was spinning. I'm quasi stupid when it comes to bait casters. I mean, I can cast it, but
they're so frustrating.
It's a guarantee. I'm getting a bird's nest in about 10 casts.
I'm with you too. I'd starve to death if I had to depend on the bait caster.
I get bird's nest on a spinning reel too. So it don't matter.
You'd get it. You just got to do it.
Do you fly fish at all?
Anything else?
Not really. I mean, I owned a fly fishing rod when I was a teenager.
It looks good.
Yeah, I mean, I can cast.
After you saw Legend of the Fall?
Yeah, no,
river runs through it.
No, actually, short story. We were on family vacation. This guy was fly fishing. He basically kind of showed me the ropes, and I hooked a little sunny on it, and I was like, this is awesome. And then I bought a cheap Walmart fly fishing rod, like a Martin, like $30, and I lost it now, but pretty much all I did with it was catch panfish up at my dad's lake house.
I was just going to ask you that. Do you have a good fly fishing rod? I've noticed that is the one type of fishing where the quality of the equipment makes the most difference, at least for me.
I don't, just because, I mean, I did spend so much time spinning fishing and kayak fishing. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only have so many hobbies, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's hard to fit all of that in.
Do you know where you can get a good fly fishing rod?
I believe Holsinger's Fly Shop. .com.
Yeah. Do you get extra points for having somebody else say it? I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
That literally was like 5 minutes in the making.
It's a family business, Ryan.
It's family. They're cousins.
Let's switch the fishing. Just there, that's where it all started.
These aren't the rods you're looking for.
I noticed you did some striper fishing last year.
Yep.
Help me, Obi Sean.
Help me, Obi Sean. You're my only hope.
You're my only mite.
That was one of my good friends from high school.
Can we talk about those guys?
Sure.
We're trying to.
Sure.
I'm editing this week, so let's go.
We're trying to.
Sure.
One of my good friends from high school, his family has a place down on one of the branch rivers of the Chesapeake. So that's where I did that striper fishing.
Yeah. That looked like fun.
It was a blast.
But is that where the wakeboarding pictures came from?
No, that was on the Schuylkill River as well.
I was gonna ask you a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever pull off the 360 aerial?
No, I usually pull off the belly flop special.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
While fishing?
No, not while fishing. My extent of wakeboarding ability is getting up and then kind of going back and forth, and then when I get bored of that, I try and jump the wake, and then usually
you fall. Yep.
Do a belly flop.
Yep.
So you got a group of guys down there that are.
I do. I got some dudes.
Pretty epic hunters themselves.
Yeah, one of I consider him pretty much my best friend, Darren.
Yeah, you stuttered on that. Is he really your best friend?
Yeah. I got a couple.
I love you, Darren. Darren's like I have a man crush on Darren.
Darren is
stone cold.
Yeah, and he's one of those characters. I mean, if you follow Darren with a camera, he's kind of like a catfish. Like if you had somebody following him around with a camera, it'd be TV gold.
Yeah. He's a young, like viral catfish. like he's.
Yeah. Is he the alpha male of your?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Is he?
Yeah, he's just. I don't even know if I'd consider him an alpha male. He's just.
No,
he's got this own energy about him.
Yeah.
Like he's.
I guess we'll find out if he is the alpha male when he hears you say that he's not.
Oh,
see what his
come
reaction
back with a black eye.
His box will be button heads.
What I meant to say last week was,
sorry, Mr. Darren.
Yeah, but that's I do a good amount of hunting and fishing with him as well.
It's like a religion now. I mean, whenever I was able to join them last year, I mean,
a religion or a cult?
We're
not defining it.
I can't distinguish the two.
You didn't have to wear a certain set of sneakers.
It was like, the number one, the common denominator is the blood, and just I had an opportunity to harvest a deer, like we said previously, and some of the other guys did not. And Darren was he couldn't have been more happy for me. He just said, "Thank you so much, brother." He's like, I haven't skinned anything in so long.
Is he the one that helped you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He'll dress it.
He's the one that whipped out like he looked like.
Oh yeah, he was all jacked up.
Tintin on the Crow,
like John Belushi's Samurai Butcher Shop.
He gets the deer out. He gets the deer out. He's like, time me. We're like,
oh, this
what?
is where this is where the timing story.
He's like, time me. He's like,
yeah. As soon as a knife
working like a
remotely got dull, he whips out another one. It's like throws the other one.
Venison Ninja.
Oh, yeah. no joke. If you.
Did he throw his hands up at the end and go, time?
Yeah.
Nice.
So what was it?
Nice.
I think it was like 4 minutes.
It was so quick.
Yeah, from skin to,
That's impressive.
And it wasn't a
hack job.
No, it was not a hack job. It was like legit. Like you'd take it to.
You could take that hide right to the tannery. You didn't even have to scrape it.
Well, you'd probably have to scrape it, but
I was trying to help him.
Oh, he's
trying to help him.
It was already mounted on a mount for
in 4 minutes. It's a pedestal mount. Thank you.
This guy's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's worthy of these Darren stories.
We should. I told him, I said, we should try and have you on as a guest one time. Oh man, but
I'm all for it.
Now he fills the void when I can't make it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's nice to have you two groups like that, And
it's nice.
Everybody, it's all kind of like the similar characters. It just like I felt reserved, but like I didn't want to be. Like it was seamless. Like they were just a bunch of cool cat hunters that just.
Well, like 5D, right?
Yeah, 5D and
pretty
5D.
much over the counter dough.
Pretty much. I think this year they sold out.
Can't you shoot one and then go get your tag down there? I mean, there's almost that many.
But this year they sold out. Yeah, they did sell out. But I mean,
third round, right?
Yeah.
No, they sold out during the over the counter.
Okay,
like it was like the first week or two. So
well,
I mean,
I'm looking forward to this fall. Then I'll put in third round for that because I don't ever have an opportunity for anything third round. So I'll put in an opportunity, or I'll put in for third round for 5D and see what Will's talking about.
Yeah,
I just invited myself along.
No, that's fine because the spot where actually Will and I were hunting, there's actually plenty of room because the private property I hunt backs right up to public land. So, I mean, if you distribute everybody around, it only increases your chances because it's we got this covered, you got that covered. And then... do
you have a nice double stand up somewhere? Me and Will could go in there?
Me and Will doubled up. Yeah, you can make it work.
All right. No, we're not going to film or anything. I just like I like to have somebody to
That's
talk
making
to.
me feel a little uncomfortable after the air and all thing, guys. Right now, I'm just calling it right now. We got to stop that.
Oh,
doubling up in the tree stand.
We're doing
cold.
All right.
It's different.
And we talked about broke back.
It's archery season. It's
I'm
not that
getting
cold.
a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right.
Just having to state.
Okay, fine.
So
We'll do it on a ground blind. Doubling up in the blind. Is that better?
That is.
We get 3 of us in a blind, right?
We would spook the deer. We'd be laughing too much. I mean, Stevie and I couldn't hardly contain ourselves. 2 of us in a
Yeah, we
blind.
didn't see a thing. We were scaring the squirrels away.
we could talk about this forever, literally, but we're pushing.
Oh,
We're cutting
Already.
it close. Cutting it close to bedtime.
we just tipped the tip of the iceberg on Kyle, too.
Oh, there's going to be a
He's
Kyle
deep.
2.0
Yeah,
episode.
there
I
has
feel
to
it.
be. There needs to be.
I'm like an onion. Got to get through the layers.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing statements?
No.
Okay.
I think I had enough statements during the podcast.
I like Tom.
I've one.
I do like Tom. Shout out to Tom.
I've one final question. I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Inside joke. That's now outside.
That was
Good. One final question.
Yeah.
That question would be, and I'm going to ask this of everybody as we get through them, so I got to follow up with Sammy and get his answer.
Right on.
Who is your favorite character on Span the Void?
Ooh. My favorite
Is
character.
there a right answer?
No,
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of like.
Is it obvious?
I kind of like Brad.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's probably the right
Shambhala,
answer.
the
Yeah, it probably-
it's kind of like the mediator of kind of tries to keep everyone. He plays both sides.
he's good. He's very political
He is
when he needs to be.
He is.
He's a chess.
He'll make a stand.
Oh yeah. No,
Usually it's against me, but he'll make a stand.
he does.
Oh, but he'll get really silly though too. I think he could be the silliest one out of all of you guys.
There's actually 2
That's
right
why-
answers, and that was one of the 2. So.
Yeah.
Brad,
He's
I agree.
anti-absolutist. I can't have a conversation with you. You're being absolutist. You're so absolutist right now.
Yeah, I think that's.
I guess this conversation is over.
Who's your favorite R2 character or personality? And you can say yourself. I mean, that's out there.
I don't know if I want to answer that.
I love me some me.
Whole lot of me. Woo!
There you have it.
No, I'd say
You heard it here first.
I like Stevie. He's well rounded.
He's like our mediator.
You are.
He's got great radio voice.
I'm going to call you out on the last 2 answers. You sound more like a politician.
Oh, I think you're just jealous because I didn't say you.
No, that's not
That's what it sounded like to me.
You chose the safe answer on both of them.
Stevie and Brad.
I don't even know Brad.
The middle, you chose the moderate. You chose the moderate choices on each of those, and I commend you on that. That's not a bad thing. I don't take me wrong.
We're trying to.
Now I'm going to have to be.
He's defending his insult.
I'm going to have to be controversial now because you went perfect.
Get off the soapbox. Come on.
The goalpost there, Kyle.
Trying to end the show, and appreciate
that's right.
everybody.
We were gonna try
Sorry.
Sorry about that. One last question.
I'm just enjoying myself.
He's giddy as a school.
I
Look
am.
us up on RuttenRiverPursuits.com. There you will find all the information you need to listen and subscribe to our podcast. While you're there, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us all individually. Follow us as a group.
And
search
Twitter.
under Rutten River Pursuits.
Don't forget Twitter, the little bird.
And Twitter.
And while they're on iTunes, what we need folks to start doing, if you like what you hear, make sure you give us a quick little review.
Let us know.
And
seriously.
I'll tell you what, I guarantee everybody right now, if you leave a review, Uncle Buck's reading it.
I will, and I'll personally respond to you.
No, I mean on the next podcast, he's reading them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't volunteer myself.
Especially, we could probably get some reviews from our Instagram people.
Yeah.
So.
I'd love to hear
Double
from you.
shout out. Instagram shout out.
I will even do it with accents if you ask me to.
So when you leave your review, just do a little hashtag and then whatever accent you want to read.
Accent or character. I will try to deliver my best.
I'm going to go leave another one.
I got to go create 5 new Apple accounts tonight.
You're marvelous people.
Oh, my God.
All right. Thank you so much. We love
Thanks,
you.
guys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. Follow the R2 Pro Staff by searching Rut and River Pursuits on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next episode, we need to see you in the outdoors.